I got pinched way too much.
It's probably locked. Talk again, class.
A fifth
Alright.
grader.
So what we're going to talk
someone's
about,
mom that they
we'll
were
go across the toolbar here and talk about what each one of those tools are, and just explain how to use them, and then we'll talk down here as well. Okay. So by the end of the night, you should have a pretty in-depth feel for Smart Notebook, and then the tutorials and guidelines and manuals are uploaded onto the wiki. Okay. Starting here, you got your arrows back and forth. So that's just moving from page to page. Kind of like PowerPoint. You know, when you have in PowerPoint, you have different views, and you have your slides going down. That's how it is in Smart Notebook as well. So your pages are going to be listed in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, and on and on. And you can go back and forth with the arrows. Alternately, you can just click on each one. So you do have a choice there. Your second picture is your new page. So just by clicking on that, you get a new page, and you can flip them back and forth. Open a page, save a page, paste a link. I don't know that. That's must be the last link that I was going to replace that for my sons. Okay. Undo, redo. So that's Control Z and Control Y. If you made a mistake, you can go back. You can go forward. All right, and then delete. Now let's say that you are, let's say that you're in your class, you're working on some points that you want to do one at a time. And you don't want to reveal them all at one time. You can click on this right here, and that's a screen shade. And each of these kind of dimples is clickable. You just pull it down one by one and pull it over. That way you don't have to reveal everything at one time. So images, classification, things like that, that would be applicable, and then you can click off it. That goes into full screen. This button right here. And at any time, just raise your hand if you want me to slow down or you want to add some clarification, because I am going to have to blow through some of this in order to get it all in tonight. There's just so much stuff. All right. So that's the full screen. Screen shade, full screen. Right here you have a transparent window. All that does is if you click it, it shrinks it down here, and then you can have your, well, it opened up the link for me. It basically makes the smart window transparent. You see here's the smart window that you can still work in, but then you can see the things behind it. I don't really, plan on using it, but I wanted to make you aware of that. And then here, this window, you can actually cut your page, go from from a single page display to a dual page display, and clicking again will just take it off. Okay. Clicking the camera will allow you to will give you a capture tool. So let's say I'm actually going to work on this from my computer. Let's say you're on a web page and you want to capture just a snippet of the web page. In this case, we'll go to the wiki. If I click this right here, that's going to capture a rectangular area that I can draw. If I click this button right here, it's going to capture it to a new Smart Notebook page. If I unclick it, it's going to capture it to the clipboard, meaning it's going to copy it, and then I can paste it somewhere. Let me show you the difference between the two. I'm going to capture it to a new page, and now I've got this kind of cross. And I can just highlight this part, go back over here, and that's exactly what it captured. It's nice if you want to, you can of course do screen captures where you capture the entire screen, but if you just want to capture a small bit of information, whether it be text, picture, anything like that, it's real nice to work with. Now, watch what happens if I uncheck it. And I can go back to that same page, click it, and let's say I just want these images right here, and let go. Now you notice it didn't appear anywhere. Actually, it appeared right here, but I want to show you the real power behind this. It posts it to the clipboard. In other words, it just copies it. So now I can open up a Word document and just, right-click paste, and then paste the image right in there. In Office, what they have what's called a clipboard, and whenever you copy something, it automatically goes onto the clipboard. It's just kind of this imaginary, kind of location for your copy pieces. Whether it's images or text or whatever. So when you do that, when you capture to a new page, it puts it on the clipboard, and then you can paste it anywhere. So if you have a bit of writing that you want to save, not the whole thing, like maybe I'm just drawing and I really want to save that, I can go to my camera and I can capture just that writing, and it'll go onto the clipboard, and then I can paste it somewhere. Okay.
What kind of file does it save as? Is it a portable net graphic, the PNG file, or JPEG, or what?
I believe it's a PNG file, but I'm going to show you a way to specify it. People understand what he was asking. There's all different kinds of image files: JPEG, JPG, PNG, bitmap, BMP. They're just all image files are kind of categorized by their content. Okay, so a JPEG file is typically what your camera takes for real-life pictures. The other image kind of files each have their own purpose. Some are good for map pictures, some are good for little emoticons or icons, so each one has its own. If I wanted to actually grab this entire page, all I would need to do is go up to File, Export as an image. And then I can specify I want as a PNG, a JPEG, a GIF, or a bitmap, BMP. 90% of the time, for quality, you're just going to want a JPEG. It's just going to be the easiest thing to remember, unless you really get into picture editing and you really know what I'm talking about when I say all those little phrases. If you don't really know, then just stick with what's easiest. If the first one that comes up is PNG, you can't really, you're going to be okay, because you can specify the size down here. You can make it really large or whatever. But just as a reference, a way to kind of drive it home, your desktop background, whether it's a pretty scene from an ocean or whatever, most of them are JPEGs. You go on the internet and you find high-definition files, high-definition pictures. The majority of them are going to be JPEGs. It's more associated with higher quality images. Okay? So that is how to capture an image. Now, you can do other captures. This capture right here, you can see it's the active window. So if this window was shrunk down, it would only capture this one that I'm moving around. It wouldn't capture anything behind it. As opposed to that, this right here captures the entire desktop area. And then finally, this one here is going to capture. It's still clickable, but it moves kind of like the lasso type feature in Photoshop. I can just undo all that. Any questions about image capturing?
It captures it as a picture, right? So if I captured like a bit of text, I wouldn't be able to edit that text.
Yeah, exactly. It's capturing it as a picture, which is uneditable. So you would literally copy paste it as a picture, and it would just be there as a static image. Good question, though. All right, I'm going to go ahead and incorporate the document camera within this, since it's right up there. Smart actually integrated the document camera into their toolbar right up top here. It's an image of a document camera. I've got it set up on my desk. And if I click it, it's going to show what's currently there. Now, what they're doing is it's taking many, many, many pictures at a very rapid rate. It's not your continuous motion video like you get on a camcorder. But it's quick enough that you can see what's going on. So if I put something right here, and this desk is very busy, so I didn't have a ton of room. What I can do from here is just take a look at this window that I have open. If I come down here, I can actually zoom in, zoom out. I can do the autofocus. This is brightness. Autofocus is just, you click that and it kind of focuses it as best as it can. Actually, this is brightness right there. I'm going to turn the lights on for a minute just so you can see what the document camera looks like and how I set it up. All of this, of course, is available on the wiki. This right here is a smart document camera. You've all seen overhead projectors used where you have to do the transparency and put it up there. Well, this is kind of the next generation of those, where it captures any image or anything that you put on the stage. Here's the stage itself. That's what they call it, the stage. It's just a piece of whiteboard with a magnet that you can then clip. Now you can put anything on here, whether it's two-dimensional or three-dimensional. So you just saw how I put this remote up here. And I can change the angle and direction of the lens, just like this. And the button back here, this is a toggle where you can zoom in and zoom out. All of that, the toggling, is something that I can do right within that window that I just showed you. Okay? So this is a way of actually putting up on the board something that you wouldn't be able to do with a transparency. Okay, you can do any kind of three-dimensional object. And because you can move this arm, you can actually show dimensionality. So, let's see, get a little bit of space here. And kind of move this back and zoom, and I can actually see that there's some dimensionality. You know, that this is a three-dimensional object. And if I wanted to, I could then turn the lights off back off so you can see. I could then click this button right here. Either one of them, capture and close, or capture to a new page. Capture and close means it's going to capture to the current page. Capture to a new page, it's going to capture it to a new page. So I'm going to capture it to a new page because my current page is already busy enough. So I'm going to click that, and here it is. Now, this isn't a terribly exciting image. This isn't exactly something that you would have a lot of flexibility with. But then you could mark it up however you want. Let me show you some ideas of what you can do with a document camera that is more interesting than what I just did. Take a look at this. It's 50 ways to leave your overhead.
That's pretty cool. I like that idea.